that the Australian government is sticking firmly to a position that there's no direct link between climate change and the country's devastating bushfires. At the same time, firefighters are racing to contain massive bushfires, taking advantage of a brief drop in temperatures and light rain ahead of another heatwave forecast for later this week.
Australia's government has no plans to slash carbon emissions more aggressively, despite unprecedented bushfires and a 3-year drought. Instead, it says the country should be rewarded for beating its emissions reduction targets for 2020. In an email to Reuters, Australia's Emissions Reduction Minister Angus Taylor said the country is doing its part to reduce global emissions. He's also said that it would not be acceptable to pursue policies that destroy jobs, reduce incomes and impede growth. Exports of coal and liquefied natural gas are a cornerstone of Australia's economy. But scientists say climate change is a key factor in the destructive wildfires. 2019 was Australia's hottest year on record, and longer fire seasons have become the new normal. Costs to health, wildlife and the economy are mounting.
26 lives have already been lost. We have unaccounted for people across Australia. We have over 1,800 homes have been destroyed, and that's before we even begin to count the cost of outhouses, of sheds, of public places, of schools, the heartbeat of some of these communities. It's before we even begin to count the cost to business, to those people who may not have lost their homes, but they don't have a place to turn up for work today. They're not sure how their next paycheck is going to arrive. The cost of this is unprecedented.
According to some estimates, this season's devastating fires will cost the economy more than 2 billion Australian dollars. The Insurance Council of Australia has increased its estimate for damages claims to more than 700 million Australian dollars, or some 485 million US dollars. These costs are expected to jump further when more fire-hit areas are accessible.
The effects of the Australian bushfires are continuing to be seen around the globe. Smoke has now drifted all the way to Chile in South America. And while recent rainfall has offered some relief, it's not enough to extinguish the fires.
It may appear like conditions are easing here, especially in the east where it's been raining for the past 2 days, so the temperatures dropped down to about 14 degrees. But let's be clear, those conditions are still dangerous for firefighters. 13 watch and act warnings remain in Victoria, 14 firefighters. That's a reduction in the number of fires, but that's because some of these fires have actually joined up and come together, and they are huge. They're 1.2 million hectares of area has been burnt, and now that effect is being felt around the world. Chilean weather authorities are saying that the smoke from the Australian bushfires has now drifted over South America, and it appears the rest of the world is finally feeling these effects. Here in East Gippsland at the moment, it is as night rolls through, it is getting smoggier and smoggier. Now looking further towards the week, it will be getting hotter as temperatures rise on Thursday and Friday.
Singapore has offered help to Australia in its ongoing bushfire battle. Singapore Defence Minister Ng Eng Hen says 2 Chinooks have been sent from the Oki in Queensland to the Air Force Base in eastern Victoria, one of the areas hardest hit by the fires.
42 SAF personnel will work alongside the Australian Defence Force. The Chinooks, carrying firefighting and relief supplies, will also help evacuate residents from affected areas.
Dr. Ng says Singapore troops have been training in Australia for decades, and it's only natural that the Singapore Armed Forces would help communities in their time of need.